right, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here with the National Oval Racing Association on this fine Monday night, and we are hoping our drivers out here will not have a case of the Mondays, as it looks like practice is finally rounding up. No rubber will be set out there on the track, as this is a very clean track. No rubber to be laid down here tonight, and it is going to be a tough one here for all our drivers, even the ones that normally don't show up here. I do see a driver of Blade Timmons out here. We'll see how he is doing, as he is looking to have a solid night here tonight and try to roll his way up to the front. So we have got our fingers crossed that everybody can keep this all together. Stella, we have been to Martinsville multiple times. What is the record of the amount of cautions that we have had here?
23.
All right, that is a disgusting number, and we are definitely hoping to keep it off of that number. Let's take a look at what our race is going to consist of here tonight at this half-mile track. 300 laps is what these guys got loaded for. Don't have no fear. These things will tick by very quickly unless we're chasing the pace car here tonight. 60% fuel limit, 10 sets of tires. Once again, if we are under caution, I highly doubt we'll even touch half of those tires down in the pits. But if this thing goes green for quite some time, which I have seen 70 lap stretches here at this track, it is possible they will be super fast here tonight. Of course, there will be no fast repairs. Stella, fast repairs are the least thing I'm concerned of. I don't know if guys will get wrecked enough to would need a fast repair, but that incident limit is huge. Right now, if they get that incident limit somewhere around the 17 mark, they will start to be black flagged. You do not want to go laps down here. It's easy to do, so they've got to be careful as we kick off the Advanced Auto 300. The temperature on the track, 95 degrees. Guys are super happy about that, and we'll be getting on their way here in just a moment. Look at that field there. Plenty of cars out there on the track. Super excited to see how well it goes. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup here for tonight, as Brian Jones and Dustin Kleba will be starting in row number 1. Fantastic job out there. Right now, I guarantee you these guys couldn't be much happier from Evernham Motorsports taking the front row. Let's move on to Dalton Tucker, who starts third with Brady Moats in the snap-on machine. He'll be starting in 4th. Dylan Picklesheimer sits 5th next to Jacob Gladelick in the number 20. Let's see if he can bring back a little Tony Stewart action here and fly his way up to the front and maintain up front on this short track. All right, moving on to Matthew George, starting on the inside of row number 4 with Josh Conover sitting in the 8th spot in the Dale Jr. scheme. Moving on to Kevin Baumler, who starts 9th. Cody Reeder rounding out our top 10. Inside of row number 6, Nick Pressey. You'll notice him out there in the 0 machine. He'll have his hands full here tonight as he gets taken off there with Blake Hoppy to his outside. Moving on to the rest of the field here, Jake Christenberry 13th, Vincent Arthur starting farther back, starting in the 14th spot. Cody Smith 15th, and Al Likens. Now Likens, I believe, has been having some trouble here as of late, but he's looking to have a top 10 finish here tonight. Moving on to Cody Height, who's serving a penalty after the last race from going too many pit stalls at the last time. Will be starting in 17th next to Sam Taylor. Moving on to the final couple of drivers here in the field, Blade Timmons and Joey Stats. And I'll tell you what, the number 5 machine finally returning back here. He's going to have a lot of work to do here, especially from the back. I hate when I'm at Martinsville starting from the very back of the field. That's going to be pretty tough, so we'll see how he is going to fare here starting from the back of the field. Jacob Lee showed some practice time out here, but did not take behind the wheel, so that is not going to be good for him and his points chase that he is hoping to have here starting this league. Stella, pace car heading on off here. This is going to be an exciting one. Guys, get your drinks ready. This is going to be a wild one. Let's go ahead and see how fast they can go here at the Advanced Auto 300. Right now, we are getting taken off. Barney's got the green flag in the air, and away we go. .300 laps we're going to be looking at here. Hoppy already shuffling, and there it is. Caution number 1 before we can even get into turn 1 and 2. Little unusual here from the National Oval Racing Association. These guys do not make mistakes, and something tells me somebody did not scuff those tires when they got going. Kevin Balmer in the AOL machine, our driver at fault here. Let's take a look. I don't know if he got dumped heading into the turn or what got happening. Whoa! Yeah, spun off the line. A lot of guys get pretty antsy heading up to the turn, setting it in first gear. And that's what ends up happening. Guys end up sliding and spinning around. Unfortunately, this sets Kevin Ballmer down a bunch of positions. That makes him lose 8 here on the night. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer here to the action. Almost Nick Pressey gets totaled out there, but it looks like even so, there was going to be even more drivers that were going to be getting caught up in that one. I believe Blake Hoppy was going to be another driver who was going to be in some serious trouble, the 31 who was stepping sideways. He's going to be working on it. All right, Stella, first caution here. I'm hoping this is just the jitters at the beginning.
Yes, I hope so too. That does not bode well, but we have had this happen before in different races. That first turn is, like you say, the jitters are all on high. Hopefully we'll get over that and have some good racing.
Yeah, I hope so too. We hop on top of Brady Moats, who's currently following behind Jacob Gladelick. Moats looked like he had some trouble during his start, lost 2 positions just to get going. So he'll be restarting in the 6th position, which I would not want to be starting on the outside line here at Martinsville. This is going to be a dirty race. A lot of guys going to have some feelings hurt after this one. Some people say the short track racing normally happens at Bristol, where everybody fights each other, and Richmond to stretch it out there a little bit. But Martinsville, I'm telling you, when guys dive bomb into these turns and use a little bit of that ARCA braking where you drive off another driver to slow your car down, that is going to be pretty sketchy out there, and not a lot of guys are going to like you for that. All right, a couple of drivers did fare pretty well for this caution. Vincent Arthur moves up to 3rd. Vincent Arthur up 3 to 11th. Al Likens up 4 to 12th, and Cody Smith, he gained 2 with Sam Taylor from 18th to 14th. Not bad. Kevin Ballmer right now, I believe he's working his way out of pits as we speak, and he is currently sitting in the 20th position.
Wow, just got an update from Alanis King out there. Says we're traveling today, so the 45 car is currently racing on an old Logitech G27 and a laptop in the hotel. You've been there.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we broadcast from that standpoint. Brian Jones looks like he's tearing around here. I believe we did show.
Seems no worse for the wear.
Well, we showed under green there for a moment, and I'm showing Dylan Picklesheimer wrecked out.
Seriously.
Stella, we are having trouble making one turn here.
Yes.
Let's take a look at Dylan Picklesheimer here and see what happens. We are lined back up. This is the go. And does the exact same thing. Sidesteps it here. And wow. I don't quite get what we're doing here. Nick Pressey involved in that one again. Remember, he got squished there by Kevin Ballmer. And this time he gets greeted by Dylan Picklesheimer.
But it wasn't just Picklesheimer. There was somebody else that took an odd turn at the same time.
Yeah, it was actually Jacob Gladelick in the number 20 took a header straight into the wall. Looks like he gets into the back of him here. Notice the number 20.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 gets hammered here, but not just that. I think it was also Jake Christenberry. Now look as they're doing it. 48 trying to send it in the dive bomb maneuver, and I think he comes to a full stop, though. Is able to get out of that situation, so I don't know. Hopefully we're not going to have to do this elementary school style and start telling these guys they need to start from second and be penalized to start from the first gear. Everybody's kind of putting it in that number 1 gear and then just sidestepping it here. You can't do that. Maybe when the tires start
in single file.
All right, Brian Jones having the hardest time of the night, just having hit these restarts. Hasn't even made it to lap 10 yet, as we are under our second caution. Kevin Ballmer on lap number 1 as we paced around for about 4 more laps. Lap number 6 as they cross the line. Dylan Picklesheimer sidesteps in. The 20 gets into him. Pace car's off. Gonna try this again. Come on, Stella, say it. Third time's a charm.
No.
All right, let's see what we can see here. And Brian Jones, green flag's out. Here we go. Nice slow restart this time. Looks like somebody may have gotten over the radio and started chewing people out. And
Right.
I know.
Turn 2.
I know. I don't start calling the race yet until we know that I'm under green. All right. I think we might survive. About time. Not bad. All right. National Oval Racing Association is going to finally knock down some green flag laps here at Martinsville. I think everybody's starting to get a good feel for it now as Matthew George already starting to fight some damage on that left front. Take a look. Trouble here from Matthew George as he's already up to the 5th position. Everybody getting a good stretch out now. I was really hoping everybody was going to be able to stay together too wide out there, as unfortunately restarting in a single file way is going to separate these guys by about half the track. Right now with drivers sitting down in 19th like Blake Hoppy and Kevin Ballmer, these guys are in trouble very, very soon.
Yeah, we seem to have even managed to make 2 clumps of cars already on this very, very short track.
Yeah, Cody Smith actually finishing out the top 10. And we roll back to Sam Taylor, who looks like he's having a little bit of trouble, although gaining 7 on the night with Blade Timmons directly behind him. These guys are up front and continuing to roll. Right now, Jake Christenberry still holding on to 13th, but as the drivers fight on behind him, it's looking pretty tough to see if you guys can find a groove out there. Now, as this track starts to settle in and the rubber builds up, we'll see a lot more guys with traction control instead of lack of traction, which hopefully that does end up happening here. Stella, this racing surface out here is looking pretty slick out there. Talk to me a little bit about it.
It is. After the 2004 race, Jeff Gordon got damaged by a big old chunk of concrete in turn 3. And they decided to go ahead and pave it after the spring race. So this is a brand new, lovely track that they have here, freshly paved. And this track is unique in that it has pavement and concrete. They did concrete in the corners, and they have asphalt on the straightaways.
All right, there we go. Looks like Conover's looking to make a move here on Matthew George. As we rotate up, looks like Conover's looking for that 5th spot. I think he's got it. Oh, slides out. No can do. And that's what you're going to see. Guys having to make that little adjustment as he gets a good run off of the turn, gets ready to set Matthew George up to dive in and stick the nose in there. I would say this is almost like New Jersey driving. If you got a fender, you got him.
Oh, ouch.
But it's what's going to happen. You're going to see a lot of guys stick the fender of their car in there and then hope the guy on the top does not roll down into them. Right now, watch Conover. Conover, the only one showing signs of life out here for some movement. Right now, looking pretty close. Up on top here of Josh Conover's vehicle. Right now,
I think everybody's moving. I think just looking for advancement.
Yep. Now, right now, is if they don't do any advancing out there, that's okay. My favorite color flag is out currently here at Martinsville, and I am enjoying it. Right now, enjoying it as well as DJ Harris joining us out there in the chat. This is Conover to the inside. That is for the 5th position. Matthew George going to go ahead and give that spot up, and Vincent Arthur was looking to see if he could take advantage of a driver that was too far to the outside. Right now, the 24 car leaning in here. Notice how Matthew George is entering these turns a lot later than the rest of the drivers. Look how much later he drives into the turn. So he drives about half a lane up, and I think that's where everybody's starting to notice that Matthew George might actually be leaving the door open. Ooh, jam up there. Matthew George backs the turn up, getting Vincent Arthur out of shape.
Sure did.
I'm not saying Matthew George is running a bad line out there. It's actually a more conservative line. When he rides a little bit higher, what he's able to do is get a lot more turn exit speed, and that's why you see these guys just aren't able to pull through and get around him. George actually running a great line. I'm agreeing with him. A more aggressive line is what you see Vincent Arthur doing. Dive down to the bottom, sticking on the bottom, and trying to stab it around the turn. As guess who takes a bad turn? Josh Conover.
Oh, no. And he gets two people passing him right afterwards.
Well, you're going to see a lot of the seesawing maneuver out here as guys diving into the turn, backing up the turn, diving into the turn. There it is again. Cody Reeder, the next one. He's getting bumped out. Right now, most of the action here between 5th and the 9th position. Right now, Al Lyken's throwing his hat into the ring, and Smith up to 9th. Not bad. Cody Reeder looking to fight back down to the bottom.
And we've had a lead change also. Brady Moats is now sitting in 3rd. Brian Jones is down to 4th, and Dustin Kleba is leading.
Yep. It looks like a little shuffle up here. Brian Jones is going to go ahead and let them do their thing. I'm wondering if he had a little situation out there that you saw exactly what happened to Josh Conover. Little slip up ends up in some trouble. Vincent Arthur to the inside. 25 taking the high line. He's going to put these two side by side as they shoot down the backstretch. Conover's got a fender. He's going to have it. This is what I was talking about. Just barely in there. 25 going to try to keep him squeezed down to the bottom so he can't roll up. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, I do want to note that Dalton Tucker right now currently rotating around the Dustin Kleba area. Right now he had him almost dead to rights there for just a moment. Let's move back to a driver who's still fighting for his life. George now to the inside. "30 laps complete here at Martinsville as you guys join us here at the Virginia Paperclip. DJ Harris said he was here for the long green flag run. And yes, we are doing quite well, other than that tongue twister apparently I had there for just a moment. We want to check in on some of our drivers who were involved in some cautions. Right now, Dylan Picklesheimer currently fighting back up to the 15th spot. He does have damage to the front nose of that car. That might assist him when he wants to start bumping guys up front, but that may not assist him as there's a lack of airflow at this track. You are not going fast enough and not enough air is getting into that nose. We'll see how that does fare for him. A little front downforce issue there. Picklesheimer getting around Christenberry.
Now, is it just my imagination, or am I seeing these guys actually almost buck up, and then when they stop, nose in, or nose down to the concrete? It's noticeable.
Yes. They get going hard on the brakes, nosedive.
Okay.
Yep. And you'll see as they accelerate, it picks that front end up again. Yep. Yep, that's exactly what you want to see is the motion of that suspension out there with the up and down. If it is too stiff, the car won't turn.
Because very often, I see the chin spoiler, maybe slide a piece of paper in between there as they're running around. But I'm looking completely under these cars there until they come into that turn. Yeah, this is a lot of difference on this particular track.
Yep. Well, also consider you really don't have any banking into the turns to help push you down. I mean, it is angled a bit. That way these guys can make the turn, but that's pretty tough. And there's a driver around, Sam Taylor.
No.
All right, round of applause to our drivers out there. 30 laps under green. Last time we had a caution was back on lap 6. Lap 36 is when this one occurs. The 12 looked like he might have gotten a little out of shape here. All right, Stella, what do you think happened? Brake fade?
I actually was not looking at that part of the track. You want me to just wing it?
Well, we'll take a look here.
He looped it.
Whoop! That was somebody right there trying to play catch up. That's exactly what that was right there. So Sam Taylor, you can see as he gets out of the turn. stomps on the gas here, and it just zink sends them on around.
Yeah, it's going to take them a little time to clean up.
Yeah. I would say now would probably be a decent time to come down here and throw a set of tires on. Seeing that everybody's got this smoothed out just a little bit. Sam Taylor, last one to come down into pit road here. As he enters the pit box. Yep, looks like 4 tires for everyone. As they get back out there. Rash off of pit road. Jacob Gladelik's going to get it. Boy, I would be seriously surprised if that number 20 machine didn't speed on the way out.
I guess it would depend on how close that cone is. If he had time to get up to enough speed, that would be a shame.
Yeah, I'm taking a little look here, and something's a little funky about Jacob Gladelik coming down into pit road. Looking, double checking here. I do want to make sure he made a stop, because what I'm showing is he never hit the box here. Yep. Never hit the box.
Okay.
So he actually drove down pit road. And we thought the rush off pit road was going to go to Jacob Gladelik, but it's not, as he revisits pit road again. He'll come back down. Something tells me he forgot, he missed his box. He didn't see it and missed it. So that's going to
get something checked or unchecked in time?
Yep.
Okay.
I didn't see any driver to his inside there, so.
That was causing him not to be able to make his approach?
Right.
Gotcha.
All
Okay,
right.
well, everybody's back out, kind of where they were, kind of where they should be. And it does look like your call of 4 tires and fuel for everyone.
Yep, well, let's see if this costs everybody. And hopefully nobody ends up spitting out here. Back underway. Let's take a look at Cody Smith already diving underneath Al Likens. Yep, strike while the iron's hot. Does the 22 spin it? No. Great stick and move here. Down into turn 3. 22 on the inside. Not bad out there by the Scott Wimmer car. Out there, Cody Smith.
Wow. What happened to Al Likens, though? It looked like, I don't know, a parachute launched from the back end of his car or something. He lost 3 places just on that turn.
I would assume a missed shift here.
Ah, okay.
Top inside of Al Likens' machine currently. Yeah, Al Likens is currently stuck on the outside line. Just can't get down to the bottom. If he can get clear, he should be able to stop the bleed. Smooth turn here from Al Likens. He gets going again. Dalton Tucker knocking down the fastest lap here of the night for himself at a 92.62. And as he does that, he is greeted with his next caution.
It should be a 19.62. I don't know. I heard 92.62. You had me.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's okay. You made me look. Who is our cause of caution number 4? All
right, take a look. I think Blake Hoppy.
Blake Hoppy. Okay. Now it's funny because he actually spent an extra couple of seconds down in pit road to maybe get a little damage taken care of, along with Nick Pressey, who spent 22 seconds down there. Oh. Jacob Gladelick seems to be making up for lost time. He's come down again for another 20 seconds down pit road and into his pit box.
I don't blame him here. Good call. Right now, this might be Nick Pressey down here trying to get some of this damage fixed.
Boy. Yeah, not much left to the nose of that car.
Nope. Few drivers have come down every once in a while. As we take a look, as they are scurrying off pit road. Current pace speed, I believe, should be about 40 miles an hour. Pit lane speed a bit slower. His car lights are out though, so we should see the truck duck on off. Driver's looking to hurry up. See how this looks from Blade Timmons' view.
And he's currently sitting in ninth.
Yep, currently up 10 here on the night. I believe last time I saw Blade Timmons race here at this track, it was quite successful. It was taken out about halfway through the race.
Ouch. And is that Cody Smith taking on Matthew George there we're watching?
Yes. Good job by Smith. You see how he drags a little bit deeper into the turn. That's going to set Matthew George up horribly here. As Smith gets through, now Blade Timmons is going to get through, and guess what? He's stuck up high. Joey Stat's going to stick it in there. Not bad. Dustin Kleba still leading this race. Dalton Tucker playing chase. Right now, Stella, once again, a lot of action happening here between 7th and the 10th position.
That mid-pack is hot tonight.
Yep. Right now, some pretty coveted areas here. Guys are wanting to fight their way up to the front now. Remember, we were talking earlier that we had Cody Height there in the back serving a penalty. Currently, he's hanging out in 11th. Right now in the number 15 machine.
Up 6 for the night.
Yep, I am unsure. Has Cody Height served one of those penalties once before?
He has, I believe.
All right, well, maybe he'll cut that out. Unfortunately, Blade Timmons gaining 11 now. Right now, woo. Real close there to the 22. You may be used to seeing the 84 being driven out there by Jake Christenberry. Out there in the Kyle Busch Car Quest. And yeah, right now, Blade Timmons putting a lot of pressure here on Cody Smith. Smith getting nervous. No rear window driving for him. Looking off the back here of Cody Smith in the 7th place in the 22, watching Blade Timmons go up. Thinking about giving him a nudge. Ooh, here's the dive bomb to the inside. Yeah, right now, let me tell you, Blade Timmons is looking to soften him up here a little bit. I'd really be surprised if there's not a nudge. Oh, Stat's a little heavy on the accelerator. And that's all it takes. A little slip up there. Right now, Stella, I am really curious to see if Dalton Tucker is thinking about leading some of these laps here tonight. Right now, he has been sitting back. I'll tell you about second fiddle with these guys, working on seeing if he can get up to the front. Dustin Kleba recently coming off of a win.
I stand corrected. Cody Height has not had a penalty like this. Cody Smith has.
Oh my gosh, okay.
I kind of questioned myself, so I had to go back and research it.
That's
not
right.
not for this series and this season. No.
Back, take a look at Vincent Arthur. Now remember, Vincent Arthur started back in the 14th position. Currently hanging out here in the top 5, 4th to be exact. Right now, as you see him out there in the Jeff Gordon DuPont Chevrolet, currently looking here at Brady Moats outside. Ride high, see if he can swipe back down to the bottom and get a run on him here. As they head into turn number 3. Look at this. I'll try to put a little work on him there. Stella, the driving getting much better out here. A lot of guys figuring out where their opponent's soft spot is, or if they can soften them up. Unscheduled pit stop here for Sam Taylor. Ryan Newman all-tail machine and into some trouble. I don't know if he's dealing with some damage out there. Let's move back to Vincent Arthur again, as I see Josh Conover starting to peek his head into the picture.
Well, I noticed he had was listed as coming in and then not coming in. And a few seconds later, he was coming in again. I'm kind of curious whether he may have made some contact with pit lane that was unintentional. Perhaps walls or barrels.
Yeah, it's possible here. I was hoping he wasn't getting loose and sliding down into the bottom. Right now, look at that car plowing. So he may be fighting some suspension damage here out of the number 12. So Barney up in the booth will be watching the number 12 there. I'm sure we'll see the the blue flag with the yellow cross signaling there are faster cars behind them and to let them go. This is going to set everybody up a little funny heading into these turns, though. Currently, we look at Joey Stats. He's got half the field behind him now. Originally, he was looking at the entire field in front of him. Currently sitting 10th.
Yeah, do you have a speed for Sam Taylor right now?
Yeah, currently Sam Taylor's running about 60 miles an hour in the turns.
Oh, okay.
Oof. See how hard? Yeah, it's okay. So you were talking about the nose diving before. Watch how hard this number 12 nose dives here.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. I have not noticed that before. If it happens on other tracks, I don't know how I missed it.
Well, I would say, taking a look at how some of these other drivers are racing out here, you do see how they squat down. Look how they're squatting down here.
Yes.
So it's something to keep in mind of how it's squatting down out there. As currently you see Joey Stats losing control of Cody Smith as he sees a couple drivers slide by him. As we see the two Codys out there getting at it. Both Smith and Height get around. Whoa.
Oh, hang on.
Well, he's going to get a nudge there from the two. So Smith in the 22, Height in the 15, Picklesheimer in the 2, and Stats in the 5.
Yeah, that little wiggle definitely gave Cody Smith an advantage. He's pulling away.
Well, he's able to stay out of danger here. Dylan Picklesheimer starting to send it in a little hard here into the turns. Now, what you'll see guys try to make an adjustment for is, I think, whoa, there's a nudge off the edge of the concrete.
Oh, and into the wall.
Yeah, watch Picklesheimer here try to send it in. Gonna get a good hook, 15, bad turn. That's not only one, but two drivers around him. Watch Picklesheimer continue the charge. Picklesheimer knew that he had a top 5 start and wants to get back up there.
Yeah, he was involved in that initial lap 6 caution that really tossed him around. I'm impressed he's got that much, look at him go, has that much damage fixed at this point in time to be able to really be a contender.
Yeah, right now the way that suspension's looking on the left front, the spotter and the crew chief are watching him each time they go by, checking for smoke to see if there's anything coming from that car. Yep, he is definitely driving the tires off of it, but they just want to make sure the tire isn't going to blow here and definitely lock up on him. That could be pretty rough out there for him if that does occur. So Picklesheimer, his roll has stopped. He's up to 9th, and now he's got to make up about 2 seconds to find Matthew George, who's hanging out in the 8th position.
Yeah, we've had a couple other moves in the top 10. Vincent Arsler is now sitting in 3rd. Josh Conover in 4th. You was talking earlier about Blade Timmons does pretty well, except gets wiped out. Well, right now he's up 13 places, sitting in 6th.
Yeah, a good pass out there by Dalton Tucker for the lead. They kind of seesawed back and forth. This was back on lap number 74, so not too long ago. Dalton Tucker set him up a little bit, and slides to the inside and goes ahead and overtakes. Great job here by Dalton Tucker.
That's taken a while. That's not just a zip zip and I'm gone.
No. Kleba will have the turn exit speed. Oh, man.
Now, what has happened? Because Kleba has just dropped down to 6th place.
Well, Kleba takes a hard shot to the wall here. Looking to see if I can find maybe a better angle of what happens. Yeah, there we go. There's a little chase cam. Yeah, I think Kleba thought he was going to come over and get him. The 9 smacks into the wall. Kleba's car, though, doesn't seem any worse for the wear. Casey Kane Dodge drops down to the 6th position. Tucker now takes the lead. And Vincent Arthur now sitting in 2nd. Not bad here. And now he does have some, definitely a gap to make up to Dalton Tucker. He got the fresh air, and away he goes. About 1.3 seconds out in front. And Stella, we take a look here at the laps, and we start thinking, you know, yeah, they're marching down here a little bit. It's going pretty fast, but drivers, each one of these turns is just becoming more and more difficult. Our laps are just barely nudging the 21-second mark now as the last set of tires they took were back on lap number 38. I wonder if Joey Stats is our first driver into the wall. Joey Stats getting loose, but not a favorable caution for him. Let's take a look at Stats in the number 5. Oh, he was hooked on the wall and tries to drift it through.
Yeah, he nicked the back right quarter panel on the beginning of that turn. Did his best to hold it, but we'll see how long it cost him in the pit box when it comes caution time.
Yeah, I wanted to take a look here at the 22 is watching him currently wreck. Oh, stop looking, stop looking, stop looking. There you go.
Yeah.
Car started straightening out on him. I think he saw it drifting and might have missed his opportunity to come to a stop. Number 5 entering the pit box.
Oh.
And now might be throwing a set of tires on. He knows it's time. No sense in wasting it here.
Four tires, the fuel. Let's see how much damage he has. Sam Taylor also joining him down there in the pits.
Yeah, I think this is Sam Taylor's second time.
Yes.
Yeah, if not, might be
Oh man.
third time in the box. There we go.
There we go. Oh, Joey Stats. He might be there for over a minute.
Yep. Woes continue.
Pace.
So, yep. So the number 5 not looking too sharp now. Terry Labonte machine has been banged up out here. Will be going down more than a handful of laps, I think, before he is able to reemerge.
20 seconds a lap, and he's down for a minute. That counts three laps down to me, and he's still counting them up. Wow.
What do you say we take a look at Conover starting to apply some pressure there to Vincent Arthur? Oh man, and no can do. Is Blake Hoppy involved in another one here? Dalton Tucker, good job. Let's go ahead and check up and let him get turned around. All right, so Blake Hoppy almost able to double from his last caution. Last caution he was in was lap 45. This one's 45. At 92.
Oh, no.
And, whoa.
There was action going on before he got there.
Assisted. All right, so the yellow flag may have come out for the 48.
Oh, he is so out of shape. Yes. Oh.
Yeah, no, the caution brought out because of Hoppy. The 48 was out of shape and came down and caught Hoppy right in the rear end of the car.
Yeah, he was an innocent bystander.
All right, what do you say everybody come down and get fuel and tires?
Yes, please.
All right. Well, you're going to get it. Everybody coming down, putting a fresh pair of shoes on that car. Here's the rush at the line. Let's see how it looks. Ooh, Dalton Tucker. And I think Conover got it. No, maybe.
Possibly. We'll see once they line up. Because currently,
showing timing that Conover got him here. At the line. Got him.
Oh,
right by nose.
Yeah, that's close. And Dalton Tucker was very crafty in the fact that he was third in line there. He knows that he can't go through more than the 3 pit stalls. Just hauls butt straight through everybody to make sure he gets out in front of Conover. And yeah, that was good. That was good.
So you can't blame him. Vincent Arthur returning back down pit road here. For a 9.82 stop.
What in the world? That puts him down in 16th place.
Yep.
Did he speed? Did he? No? It's not a speeding hold. Interesting. Wow, Blake Hoppy must have got beat up on that last turn. He's down there for quite some time.
Yep.
Can I assume Joey Stats has retired for the evening?
Yes, he has. As well as Sam Taylor.
Okay.
So the Ryan Newman and Terry Labonte cars are down and out here for the night. I'm now looking to see if the Robbie Gordon machine can return. And now Hoppy's probably kind of beside himself right now. Just can't seem to get a break out there. Lapped car hurrying up to the front here. That should be Kevin Baumler. Just in time. Gets that thing hammered down. I'm sure he's excited about getting a front row start.
Yeah.
Remember, the leader has to pass the line first. Here we go. Good job there by Ballmer. I'll tuck him into the third position.
Ish.
Yeah, out there on the track. He is down in 17th, but giving him an opportunity here. Right now, Ballmer only one lap down. Uh-oh. What the world's happening here? Ballmer falling off the table hard.
Yeah, it's almost like he almost took out Al Likens. Like he just does not have as much gas, pedal as everybody else. That was strange.
A lot of work out there. Matthew George here to the inside of Brian Jones. That's for the 6th position as they take another look for it. Let's get a better angle. 25 takes an angle here. George still with that left front damage. Doesn't seem to be affecting his strategy, though. George now up. Moving Brian Jones down in the 7th. Dalton Tucker was enjoying his early lead there. Caution does come out on lap number 92. Ooh, Brian Jones almost sent it into him there. Stella, remember the only thing, remember how cars brake out there. Whoop, there's a nudge. Brian Jones going to give him a bump again. Ready? Boink, boink.
Oh,
there you
my.
go. Yeah, right now I think Brian Jones is letting him know. You brake check me one more time, he's going to dump him. No, but I've seen it happen before. Guys cut in front of you and then brake check you 1,000 times, which right now that Matthew George and is falling off from Dylan Picklesheimer is not catching up though. And Brian Jones knows he's got the faster car. Boy, starting in the number 1 position and trying to fight back to get back into the top 5 here. And now he's got to be hating this right now.
Back into the top 5. Take a look at who is sitting in 5th. That's Dylan Picklesheimer.
Yep, he has returned.
After that horrendous crash early on, that's amazing. It's he's like, all this work and I'm right back where I started.
Yeah, fresh tires looking good so far, but watch Picklesheimer actually start leading into the turn by half a lane in the Rusty Wallace car. Outside, but notice that, there we go. Okay, looks like he's straightening his line out. I was noticing that the past few laps, Dylan Picklesheimer has actually been riding the middle lane to head into the turn, which has actually been costing him a ton of time.
But I thought you said that was a nice conservative line.
Through the turns, yes, but not when you're heading into the turn.
Okay.
And what he was doing is not rotating up. You would get up close to the wall here and then let the car kind of roll in, and there you go. A little trail break in there, and look how much time he picks up. Now he's going to be able to press into Dustin Kleba. 3 more turns like that, they'll have him dead to rights here. Dylan Picklesheimer taking a look, moving that rear brake bias, and bumping that up a little bit. Little slip. Picklesheimer holds on to it. Like bad turn here by Conover to the top of the track. And what you'll end up seeing is guys who use a lot of front brake bias end up overheating these front tires. They won't stick and they'll just randomly ride up the track.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, the front tires can't do much more. And Dalton Tucker out to a 1.2 second lead here. Fantastic job out of the number 42 Haviland machine, Jamie McMurray.
Yeah, well, Picklesheimer may have an advantage tonight because Rusty Wallace was the winner this year of this race. So maybe he's got a little mojo going with his paint job.
There it is. Brian Jones again. As we rotate back to take a look at Dylan Picklesheimer, Brian Jones is all over this 25 here. Right now, Brian Jones in the 45 machine, taking a look at him. Might be continuing to press the subject here. Boy, look how close he's getting to him. It's kind of crazy when you watch from our angle here back on the track. You can almost feel the frustration in some of these guys and the agitation out there on the track. Brian Jones wants to get around him here, but he wants to do it safely. But the 25 is making that real hard to do.
Yeah, I don't know if, as you say, Matthew George would hop in front and brake check. What if they're just doing, they have different lines of racing. So one person just slows up sooner than another. It's not something he's maliciously doing to the person behind him.
Oh, correct. Yeah, that's 100% what's happening. Matthew George is running his line, but Brian Jones is running a faster lap, but just can't get around him. Every time he has his chance to accelerate or get around him, Matthew George is defending that bottom line. So you see Brian Jones back it up a little bit here, gets into the turn. You see much faster, good roll in. And isn't able to finish the roll through, has to brake check just a little bit more. Right there.
He's definitely getting Matthew George getting a good view of that car in his rear view.
Yeah, look how close this is getting here. Jay out there has even mentioned this is short track racing. You got nowhere to go. Laps are ticking off. Right now, the 45 machine out there. And the Kyle Petty dodge, and that's what he was looking for. There's the mistake.
Boy, Cody Height takes advantage of that too.
Yep. Now he's almost close enough to chuck his water bottle into the other guy's car.
Really?
Matthew George from 6th to 8th. Guys having some difficulty taking care of their cars out there. Vincent Arthur's working on fighting his way up to the front, gets around Cody Smith. Now we'll work on Blade Timmons in the 84. Vincent Arthur came down for an extra pit stop. Not 100% sure on the strategy of a 9.82 second stop.
Do you think he might have taken one side tires in the first stop and realized it was only one side and he came down and got the other side?
I have no idea. We could roll back and find out, but I like sticking to the green flag racing right now.
Yes.
We'll keep an eye on it. Notice how out there in the outskirts, Matthew George starting to work on Cody Height. Height actually falling off a little bit. Past couple of laps, he has been holding up Matthew George. George has gained 0.2 on him. 20.49. And here's some trouble. Well, Likens to the outside. Likens going to get a clear here. There you go. Give that 84 a bump down toward the bottom. Have him enter the turn a little cattywampus there, and then be able to get for it. All right, Al Likens now down to 11th. Dalton Tucker out there with a 2-second lead. Not bad here. He's almost having an opportunity to start seeing the end of the field.
They're that spread out by this point?
Yep. Take a look here on top. There's the car. See it?
There's someone, yes.
So that should be Blake Hoppy.
Blake Hoppy, who did manage to get back on the track after 2.5 minutes. So, not bad.
Boys, he's scrambling to get back up there. Hoppy, just nothing but trouble out of that car here tonight. He is not happy with what it's doing.
That's a lot of work, when your car every single turn fights you on what you want it to do.
Yep. 126 laps complete here tonight. Hoppy just trying to keep her alive. See if we greet him here after a little while. I'll give it to Brady Most for hanging on to a third place position. We'll see if this ends up shaking things up a little bit. Vincent Arthur has actually been pretty quick out here so far. 20.69, that matches Matthew George, so it looks like everybody's starting to stall out just a little bit. No gains being made here. Last lap. Much better, about a tenth faster. Vincent Arthur starting to reel in Matthew George, but George is working on Brian Jones. Jones to the outside. Jones has been doing a lot of work there on that 25 machine, and unfortunately he almost hands it right back to him. Stellar, remember out there, they were saying the 45 is not running on his normal equipment here tonight.
Right.
Stella, that is some dedication.
We have seen that setting up in hotel rooms on work travel or vacation travel, and sometimes it goes great and sometimes it doesn't. So you're really dependent upon an unusual Wi-Fi. If you push too hard, you might flip over the office chair. I can't imagine the differences that, if you're used to a rig and now all of a sudden you're dealing with portable pedals and something hooked to grandma's dining room table. It could really mean the difference of first and not.
Yeah, well, I hate that he scored out there on the pole, but is having trouble staying inside the top 5 as he falls down to 8th. Blade Timmons starting to work on him now out there in the CarQuest machine. And this has been a interesting race here. The Advance Auto 300 seems to have come to a stop there on the cautions here for tonight. First one came out on lap number 1. Kevin Baumler looping it around. And we had Dylan Picklesheimer on lap number 6. Sam Taylor on lap number 36. Blake Hoppy on 45. And then back on 92. So far, we have been green since that lap. Drivers enjoying that when it's time to change tires, it's not under green.
Yes.
Everybody during cautions has been able to pit. With 10 sets down there, they should have plenty here on the night. Only 2 used by most of the drivers out there, unless they've been involved in some sort of an altercation out there. Stella, I still want to note that the incident limit is still in effect, and we haven't reached the halfway point of this race.
That's correct, but I don't think a large group of fellas are in trouble. There might be a few, but yeah, you're looking at a drive-through at 17, and then you have an incident limit of 24. So a couple guys might be in jeopardy, but I mean, it's not like Darlington where every time you touch the ball, you get a ding.
All right, the distance between Dalton Tucker, Blake Hoppy getting pretty close. About less than 3.5 seconds before Dalton Tucker can catch him here. Well, like Dylan Picklesheimer kind of had a crummy turn last time around. This is about 2/10 of the driver in front of him, Brady Moat. Stella, I am wondering at any point in this race, or before this race, or heck, even during the week, if anybody has considered a green flag pit stop, what would happen?
You'd be pacing the field and hoping for 14 cautions to get your lapis back.
Yeah, or it'd stay green while everybody comes down to pit.
True. Yeah, I'm looking at some of our fellas back here. you know, we know what happened to Blake Hoppy, but Kevin Baumler has never recovered. He is still 1 lap down. And Cody Reeder just took an unexpected trip down pit road. But I was looking at Kristen Berry, Cressy. Those two fellas have not been able to recover from their incidences either. But yet we look at Dylan Picklesheimer. It looks like he's been through a compactor and spit out the other end, up here in 4th. So it's quite amazing.
I'm wondering if Cody Reeder knows there's a possibility of a pit stop's coming up here pretty soon, and is trying to get the first bite if he's able to switch it up a little bit. He may be down some laps now, but as he works his way out of pit road, he gets back out there on 4 tires of fuel. He'll be able to start slicing through this field. Guys are going to be coming down. He'll already be on his way of working back up to the front, so a little offset pitting. That's the strategy here by the number 19. I'd like to go ahead and give a shout out there to In the Fence podcast, hosted there by Cody Reeder. Right now, these two guys the following night out there on Spotify bring up a podcast here about NASCAR and the NORA series, how their race went out there that night. And Stella, they may be talking about this one as not too bad. We've got the cautions under control, but as we see a couple of guys starting to let off a little smoke, Matthew George the one to point fingers at. Right now the 25 having some tire trouble as he smacks it off the wall not but a couple laps ago.
That one was, yeah. I was just trying to do some calculations looking at when Cody Reeder came down, and he was running about 50 laps. And so I was told we could look at about 69 laps. I mean, that's 20 more laps, basically. So it really shouldn't be fuel. Unless you think he's just jumping the gun.
Yeah, fuel or for a tire stop. And not taking any more of it.
Yeah, he took both. But I was just wondering, could he actually have needed fuel at a 50-lap mark?
Unless he's doing something different.
Okay. What?
Nick Gillis is at the feature. Pit stop's happening. Here it comes. Dalton Tucker, our leader, heading on down. Dylan Picklesheimer heading on down.
No kidding.
All right, Stella, you got your answer.
Yes.
We are missing the number 97 Sharpie machine there, out there of Kurt Busch. As Ford is not out here tonight. Brady Motes is now taking over the lead out front here. Great job out there in the number 1 car. Normally driven out there by John Andretti.
So 58. Yeah, these guys are making it 58, 59. Okay.
Caution. No.
No. Yep. Yep. Ouch.
What?
Ouch. That's gonna hurt.
All right. About half the drivers who have pit, their races are ruined.
Yes.
They're going to have to wait for everybody to come on down. Looking to see what and who caused it.
Was it one of our guys that just got their tires and they were fresh and
I
cold?
think the one who may have caused our first caution of the night.
No.
Finds it on lap number 1 and says, you know what? We're halfway through. Let's do it again. All right, taking a look here at the number 30 of Kevin Baumler. Whoa, hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes. We've overheated them. No! There's the caution. Bam.
Oh. Whose nose did he just take off?
Oh, that was Cody Smith. That's what I thought. I am most likely incorrect. think Al Likens might have been our guy. Front nose damage to the 77.
Yep.
Yep. Kevin Balmer does tow here.
So 4 minutes minimum for him.
At least.
That's still how that works here.
Well, he's made contact with the wall a few times here, and has had 2 cautions involving contact with other drivers. Stella will keep our eyes peeled to see if Kevin Balmer may be serving a penalty here. Be concerned. I thought we'd have a lot more issues out there where guys are being disqualified. Fortunately, that is not the case. So our guys who came down in the pits, things are going to get a little bit rough. Cody Reeder, I think, who had been fighting to get his way back to the front. Pit on lap 141. And is not going to have the ability to pit again.
Okay, why can't he come down again? Or why couldn't he have?
Currently, now it's we should be green flag this time by.
Okay, I wondered if there was you know, a closed pit, or it was just timing. He couldn't come down.
Yep.
Okay.
So Cody Reeder will come down now. Everybody's getting ready to go back on the green. Normally pits
Yeah,
are
I just
closed
wondered
at this time.
Yeah, why he didn't come down as soon as the caution was called on 150.
Looks like everybody's still pacing here. Boy, that's just got to outrage him. And now Dalton Tucker was in the lead, now down by 6.5 seconds.
Making a nice move there. Yeah, Blade Timmons is up 15 so far tonight. Our top 5 are Brady Moats, Josh Conifer, Vincent Arthur, Blade Timmons, and Dustin Kleba. Brian Jones hanging in there in 6th, followed by Matthew George, Cody Smith, Jacob Gladelick surviving in the top 10, and last but not least, in 10th, Cody Pilot.
All right, extended pit stop for the number 30 of Kevin Balmer out there. Yellow flag is out, as I believe you were catching up in the infield car care center with Kevin Balmer to see what in the world happened there, as Jake Christenberry loops it around this time. All right, Stella, go ahead and see if you can take it away here with Kevin Balmer. See what in the world's going on out there.
Yeah, tell me what happened. You've had a rough night tonight.
Yeah, I feel bad for everybody that's got involved in my incidents. Is kind of spun the tires there in the start. I'm not sure if I got bumped or not. I never looked, but spun them going from 3rd to 4th, and took the 19 with me and a couple others, and yeah, just an overall good night. I was running behind Cody there, first car lap down, just riding around, and he backed the corner up more than I thought he was going to, so I was either going to run him over or spin myself out, and I figured I'd do the less of 2 Eagles, and unfortunately the 77 got collected.
Yeah, a little nose damage there on Al Lycan's car. We checked back to see if he was okay too. So you had to tow. How long does it say you're going to be down in the pits?
I was showing about 6 minutes, which I'm not sure if I'm going to go back out there. I definitely have a top 10 speed when I got back on lead lap the first time. I drove up to 8th or 9th there, but it's just not my track. I'm not a huge fan of Martinsville. This is the first time I've really ran this place, and just upset with myself for making some of the mistakes I've made tonight, and involving other individuals. I usually try to race fairly clean with a straight head, and it's just not been my night.
I understand. Everybody's got one, you know? But while I have you, why don't you give us your shout outs real quick, just in case we don't see you later?
Yeah, just everybody over at Bass House, Blake and Tyler, Corey. Gotta give a shout out to my wife for letting me burn up a Monday night doing something that I like, and obviously shout out to the admins of this league and you guys broadcasting.
All right, well, thank you very much. I will, I think Nick's gonna go back under green.
All right, Kevin Balmer, hopefully everything turns around next week. We're heading to a super speedway, man, so go ahead and get in the super speedway car, and we'll see you at Talladega, buddy.
Yep, enjoy the race, guys.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
Thanks.
All right, Kevin Balmer, he's hating his night right now. Whoa. Yeah, Blake Hoppy's just going to go ahead and let everybody by. I don't think he even wants this. He doesn't even want to be in the fight here.
Yeah, but Blake Timmons just bounced off the wall.
Yep. Little ricochet out there is the 84. He's now trying to play chase out there with Vincent Arthur. I was wondering if he bounced off the wall, trying to make sure he stayed away from the situations that are starting to occur out there. A lot of guys did come down into pit road once more. Right now I'm showing Nick Preston and Dylan Picklesheimer. They came down about 27, 25 second pit stops for them. Al Likens did as well, and so did Dalton Tucker. Interesting call here by one of our previous leaders, currently holding on to the number 10 position. Continue to chop forward. Now, remember, Brian Jones, this time he's gotten out in front of Matthew George. And he's trying to keep it that way. Justin Kleva sitting 5th. One of our previous leaders here of the race. Now, Brady Moats, apparently he's got this system down. We're not going to mark him in or out of this race. As of right now, none of our previous leaders here of the race are currently sitting at least in the top 4 positions. Good job here, lap 171 coming to a completion here at the Advanced Auto Parts 300. We're here with the National Oval Racing Association here on this fine Monday night. A few cautions here and there as guys have been mashing it up out there on the track. And everything getting pretty smoothed out once we got single file. Move to see if anybody else has any opportunities to start pressing to get up to the front. Dalton Tucker up to 9th.
Yeah, I do not doubt we will see him moving as long as that flag stays out green.
Sometimes that is a big question if that will stay out green. Taking a look here. Cody Smith. Right now it's looking back on Cody Smith. That's Matthew George caught to the outside. Dalton Tucker trying to see if he can get the 1-2 punch here. Sends it in. Almost nudges Smith in the 22.
Not this time.
A little right front damage. Dalton Tucker just has to wait a little bit of time. Smith is a little messy out here. 22 Caterpillar machine.
And it is confirmed that our third driver, Adam Ballmer, has taken it back to the garage.
tonight, but you guys heard me say it. Next week, Integra Super Speedway racing 3 wide at Talladega. You guys tuned in out there on Saturday if you want a little prelim of what it might be here. Yep, that was 3 wide racing. Great racing, actually, we saw out in the NSR League on Saturday. That was a beautiful race.
Yeah, we're only 3 races away from the All-Star race, correct?
I believe so.
TBD. I do not have where it's going to be.
Normally, I believe it was held at Charlotte.
Well, but Charlotte is going to be run on the 12th, the following week.
Yes.
Think they'll run it twice?
Yes. Normally before we meet the Coca-Cola 600, the All-Star race was held at Charlotte. Some of their top drivers out there, and it was a duel to the finish. A lot of guys might remember that T-Rex car, and I swear, Vincent Arthur is going to have to hold that up.
So you calling him for the win at Charlotte?
The way I saw the T-Rex car race, yes. That was the most insane thing I've ever seen, especially if you guys get the opportunity out there after this race, go over to YouTube, the T-Rex car, and look at some of the ride-alongs. Jeff Gordon said, yeah, that thing stuck like glue out there. And anything he threw with that car, it was a big spring car, but it was immediately outlawed after that race. And he passed that field probably a total of 3 times. All right, here we go, battle for the lead. Josh Kahn over to the inside. Getting some assistance there from Vincent Arthur. Oh
no!
Brian Jones gets punted.
Yikes.
Looks like we're playing a little bit of football out there. Give him a hard shove. And Brian Jones has got to be torqued now. Stella, at least I can say Brian Jones will not pull an Andy Reeves out here.
No. No comment.
No. What he will do is wait till later in the race and return the favor of whatever happened here. But we'll see if anybody was at fault, as a few guys are coming down. Actually, just about everybody are coming down. Oh, Jones to the outside. Horrible turn, loops it. All right. And unfortunately, off of Cody Smith. Now, if I were Cody Smith, I would hang out in pit for a little bit, because that right front damage, not only has he had that most of this race, but he still is fighting it. So hopefully, if I were Cody Smith, although maybe battling, is try to fix some of that right front damage here. Or otherwise, he's going to end up with... Go ahead.
Does the damage model allow for that fender to cut the tire?
In some cases, it will lock up the tire.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I would be more concerned of Cody Smith hitting that wall and ended up with some suspension steering damage.
Oh.
And no longer will it become body damage, and he'll hit the wall and it'll cock the steering wheel, and then that'll be pretty much the end of his night.
Well, the 2 of them can wave at each other right now.
Brian Jones was already sliding sideways. This was kind of a...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was the 45s issue on that one. But fortunately, this will give everybody an opportunity to come down into pit. Drivers who did not, Al Likens and Dylan Picklesheimer.
But they also were the latest ones, other than Blake Hoppy at 179. But they came in at 163, so I guess they have confidence on their lap 20 tires. 20 lap tires.
See what Blake Hoppy does this time. Hoppy out there with Richard Childress Racing. RCR had a tough time here tonight. And Hoppy takes off.
That's got to frustrate Josh Conover.
Oh, nice little block there.
Yeah.
That works out. Penske Jasper Racing out in front. And Al Likens Picklesheimer did stay out. He has already fallen down to the 6th spot. Oh, Likens. Horrible turn. Into turn number 1. Yeah, right now he is all over the place. He's scrambling. He's got to clear Blake Hoppy.
Yeah, Hoppy's either wiggling or Vincent Arthur gave him a little bit of a.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
gosh,
Conover's
Conover!
around.
And we are back under caution at lap 188. Oh, so's Vincent Arthur.
Yes. Hendrick Motorsports, 2 of their drivers, end up getting looped around out here. Stella, now is when I would expect Al Likens to come in and pit. I think he might have figured out them tires just weren't sticking.
Yeah, I would like to see this whole caution again for sure.
A little nudge off Hoppy. The 8 tries to get back into it. Oh!
There. Nope, that's where it came from.
Look at the 84.
Sneaking underneath.
Now Vincent Arthur got into him here. Now as Arthur's trying to make the correction. Ooh, boy, that's going to be a hard shot.
Yep, left a bit of debris. Uh-oh. Does he have a toe link issue?
No.
No, okay. It just kind of was going.
Yep.
I was afraid he was trying to turn the wheel and it was not going.
Yeah, I think we also missed our lap 161 caution back here, the one that was caused by Jake Christenberry. Yeah, this is just where, whoop, and he sent it on around. So that was 161. Lap 182 goes to Brian Jones. We saw this one here. Up toward the top, comes back down and catches Smith in the 22. And then this time here with Josh Conover and Vincent Arthur on lap 189. Yeah, it didn't seem that bad, but boy. Stella, when we take a look at it, does Vincent Arthur pick up the pace, or does he get nudged by the 84? It looked like the 84 never touched him. But watch
No,
how the 24, like, jolts. Huh. Jay out there saying my Mr. Reeves joke was too soon.
Is that what the too soon was?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's not laughing. I'm laughing.
Nope.
What a joke. All right, let's get ready to see Blade Timmons take it off here.
And note, our 2 caution victims are back out on the field. I think on the lead lap. Yes.
Front nose damage to Vincent Arthur was not repaired. 24 is going to be fighting to lose a battle here. Let's see if that does cause any trouble out there for Vincent Arthur, who's currently holding in 13th. Remember when Picklesheimer got a little bit loose there on lap number 1, came down and knocked Nick Presley. This will meet again. Vincent Arthur just picking and choosing up to 11th. Oh man, does he send it in. Definitely a crapshoot here. Vincent Arthur, boy, almost locks him up there. And a think
Yes,
Brian
into the wall.
Jones.
Yes. Into the wall again.
Yikes. Up to Dalton Tucker, who just now clears Matthew George. That moves Tucker up to 6th. Cody Reeder still sticking with it. Not quitting when laps down. Currently sitting in 5th. Boy, this is awesome here for the Evernham Motorsports gang. And Cody Reeder and Dustin Cleveland. Currently both sitting in the top 5. Once again, Brian Jones getting the worst of it here out of that race team. Brian Jones. And you see what I mean by Brian Jones entering that turn just a little too soon. A couple of other guys have been making that attempt. The 45 machine taking a look. Al Likens block. Likens to the top. Stella, I'm taking a look here. I'm showing Al Likens. Not come down pit road on that last caution. It's really unusual about why he's in the back, but it looks like Dylan Picklesheimer is going to be our next one. Lap number 6 he was involved in. This time it's lap 202. I want to see what happened back here with Al Likens and why we did not take tires at lap 192 here. Trying to see, it doesn't look like he passed under caution or anything here.
This looks more like he's been issued an EOL.
Yeah. Yeah, but how can you be issued an EOL when this was the caution before? Had nothing to do with it. All right, let's see what happened to Dylan Picklesheimer here. Dylan Picklesheimer heading in early, and Matthew George.
Oh, Matthew George says, have a good day over there.
Huh.
Wow.
Awesome. So Dylan Picklesheimer in pit road. And back out, he's going to go 14 and a half second pit stop.
Okay. That's surprising. Unless he used all 14 seconds for no fuel and no tires and all repairs. Is that possible? Can you unclick fuel and tires and just get repairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Ah, there we go. So they're saying there's a possibility he may have jumped the restart. I want to know how they crack down on that. Let's take a look. That's a good point. Let's take a look here at the restart here with Al Likens. Yeah.
All right.
If we have more time, we might crack down on that.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could find something that shows me the flag man, and as soon as his arm twitches to start waving that green flag, he can go.
Ah, okay. Since we have no restart zone.
Bingo.
It has to be the flag and then
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
That's going to switch it up a little bit. Let's take a look. Oh, no. Conover and Vincent Arthur side by side here, 5th and 6th.
Wow. That did not take him long.
Nope, but watch that. That's that seesaw maneuver I was talking about. Guys diving in and then bouncing back. Diving in and bouncing back. pretty tough here. Likens did take tires back on 203. See if he is able to come back up from the back. Boy, 15 hooked into the wall. And Cody Height not happy about that. He'll be fighting the rest of his night with some right front damage. Apparently that Michael Walter paint scheme is not to his liking. He's back into the wall. Oh, is that Nick Pressey? Oh, that's Pressey sending it 3 wide. Contact with the 48. Jake Christenberry.
Oh.
Yep. Cody Reeder.
Hi.
He's going to give him an earful for that one.
There is a lot of contact at this particular track.
Yes.
I mean, I know it's 55 feet wide. You know, they should be able to do this. But I guess it's just the availability of having so many different lines going in high, going in, low, or when they break, not everybody's in sync. And that's why they make so much contact?
Yep. Exactly why Dalton Tucker up to 7th, looking to put Jacob Gladelick in the rear view. Gladelick's been doing quite a fine job here tonight. He's made it 2/3 here of the race. Whoa. Drop it down to 10th and now continuing to roll back. It's because I got the camera on it. Maybe we'll rotate. See if we can find somebody else. Dalton Tucker, how about that? All right, Dalton Tucker currently running behind Nick Pressey. Pressey came in on 203, so Tucker. Right now out of our 203 lap pit stop. On lap 203. On that pit stop right now, leading that charge is Nick Pressey. And concerned about Kaliba. Falling off the chart. Right now down to 12th. He is having some trouble out there. Now both him and Cody Reeder.
Yeah, Cleveland's having a lot of trouble. His last lap was 22.798. No one else is running that slow. We have guys, Brian Jones and Dylan Pickelson, that are running 19s. So that's not going to bode well for him in the long run.
Nope, not currently. Blade Timmons leading this race, though. Josh Conover and Vincent Arthur are trying to run him down. And now they're realizing if they can get out front, they should be able to stay out front before anybody else can catch him out there. Say as Dalton Tucker continues his charge as he snugs up, now right behind Vincent Arthur. This is going to be one of their bigger adversaries. Brady Motes had led some laps, now trying to hold on to fifth. As you would guess it, Dylan Pickelsheimer returning back to the fight under caution. Wow. Brian Jones. Now remember, incident points, losing control of your car.
Oh. Well, at least he's straightening it back out, but still.
Yep, there's some agitation there. That's why you hit him the second time.
So, all these pit stops here in the 200s, do you think they're considering if they don't stop again? They can't possibly make it from here.
Unless we start racking up cautions from here on out.
Ah, okay. Sideshow Blade Timmons hasn't been in the 200s yet. Last time he came down was 183. not bad for being up 18 places.
Yep. See, we're getting closer and closer to the end. About 80 laps left to go here. I believe I've seen the driver been able to take it almost over 100 laps as long as it was under caution. Majority of the race started from the front, ended in the front.
So, nice 100 degrees on the track, but still, they need to scuff up those tires a bit so we don't have any loop-de-loops.
I think Blake Timmons would be okay with you guys moving it.
Agreed.
So, pretty big opportunity here for Blade Timmons to stay out front of Dylan Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer came in on lap 203. Al Likens came in on 203. And Josh Conover, the first one leading them off here at 219, who were from the back. Green flag is out. Here we go.
Big jump inside by Josh Conover. Looking to have a quick takeover of Al Likens. And Vince Arthur has the same idea. Says, maybe I'll help him.
Yeah, Stella, I don't know if you noticed, but it looks like Tony Height and Josh Conover are going up to Gaylord Hart Incorporated. Motorsports gang to see if they can trade up something. See if they can break this cycle out there. The 8 swipes down in front of Vincent Arthur's car. Not bad end. All right, Barney, I see you.
Yes, I didn't see the wreck, but I saw that nasty yellow flag.
All right. See who this one involves here.
Hoppy. Oh, he slammed on the brakes. There was nothing Brian Jones was going to do to miss coming up under him.
Wow. Did you see how close he got to those barrels?
Pretty sure he made contact with him.
Oh, I mean, Hoppy here.
Oh.
Whew.
Gotcha.
Jones slammed into him. Hoppy. That was close.
Yes. Yes. So Hoppy rolls away with nothing worse than a little squish in his gas tank. Brian Jones may have some serious right-hand damage.
Yep. I don't think the right-hand damage might exceed what they expected, as I believe Brian Jones is taking it back to the garage.
Yes. I think so too.
So Evanham Motorsports in trouble. We'll see. Let's see Richard Childress Racing here. I do want to see if I can poke just a little bit and see if I can get him a little wound up. All right, Blake Hoppy, rough night here tonight, man. But, dude, how close was that hitting the barrels?
Yeah, that was kind of scary. I don't know what happened there, really.
Well, it looked like you may have backed up that turn a little bit. Brian Jones decided to play football and try to punch you there. But, man, as you're sliding toward the barrels, what were you thinking?
I thought I was hitting the barrels. I thought it was over. So I was very surprised when I slid past it.
All right. Can you make it back on the lead lap and get back up there?
Yeah, I think I was down 4 or 5 at one point, and I got 2 the hard way, and would have had a third one, maybe possibly before that last caution. So yeah, I think I can here. There's a lot of time left yet.
All right, Blake Hoppy, hang in there, buddy, with Richard Childress Racing. We'll see what you can do out there, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, rough night. So have fun.
Keep charging. All right, Richard Childress Racing. Blake Hoppy in the number 31. Let's see him get back underway. Green flag is out. Blade Timmons on lap 183 tires here, and there is no way we're back under caution. Matthew George is around.
Ay, ay, ay.
Oh!
He just had...
Yo.
What?
That is the 15 car on his lid.
That is Cody Height. Yes. Just had to tow.
Coach, I got some questions.
Yes.
What just happened? So...
Oh. Okay, check up because Matthew George did something up front. Oh my goodness. And he launched him. Dalton Tucker. That will freeze his advancement back up to the front of the field.
Oh, look at the accordion.
Yeah.
What happens to the 15 here? Oh, what?
Oh.
How?
Yeah. This is getting patience is wearing thin, I believe at this point.
Watch.
Yes.
But watch, everything's good. And over we go. What? I want to know, okay, maybe what I'm looking for is what caused the initial checkup here.
Okay.
Because the 84 launches, Picklesheimer's going. What causes everybody to start doing the accordion?
Either check in the Vince Arthur or the Brady Moats area.
But the 84 looks like he lets off. Right there.
Oh.
See where he slows down?
Maybe he was making sure that the flag was going to wave in time?
But just this little checkup here jams the rest of the field.
Yeah.
Conover, Arthur, Moats, Pressey. Cody Reeder thinks they're going. Green flag's out. Everybody's starting to move. It just sends everybody else the rest of the way around. All right.
Yeah, just the front guys didn't seem to make any contact. They checked up and made it. But as soon as you got back to that 5th, 6th area, yeah, it got ugly. Jay says it's bumper NASCARs out there.
All right. This might be a shot here for the lead. That's going to put Blade Timmons behind the 8 ball. Yeah, 8 ball behind the 8 car you pick. All right. Vincent Arthur is chasing Josh Conover. Moats to the inside. This is lap 183 tires showing signs of fatigue here. Away they go. Pressey looking to the inside of Timmons now. No can do. Still fighting with Moats.
Yeah, he just got a little squirrely back there. Trying to hang on to that back end.
Yep, fortunately only half a mile. He's got an opportunity to just set up and attack again. At 2:37, less than 70 laps left to go in this one. Josh Conover is now taking over the lead. Stella, I would say if we end up keeping these cautions up, Conover's got enough fuel to make it to the end. As long as he can take care of his tires, we'll see if they can hold on.
Really? I figured the ones on 231 would be able to make it, but 219, you think he could do it too?
If we end up under a bunch of caution.
Okay.
Let's hope if this does go green the entire way. The one that will be losing here, unfortunately, is Blade Timmons.
Yeah, he's got to be hoping.
Stella, take a look at Dylan Picklesheimer here, taking a look to the inside of Cody Reeder. Number 2 machine just can't, I think some would say he just won't die. Right now, this guy just keeps coming back. This is crazy. Lap 202 is the last caution we saw him involved in. Picklesheimer now back up to 8th. Impressive that these guys are able to return back to the fight. Christenberry currently sitting 7th. He gives it up there to Cody Reeder, who slides up to 6th. Right now, Conover out in the lead. Vincent Arthur 2nd. Brady Moats 3rd. Nicholas Pressey 4th. Blade Timmons is 5th. Moving on to Cody Reeder, Jake Christenberry, Dylan Picklesheimer, who are currently still fighting out there. Jacob Gladelick is 9th, and Matthew George with a 10th place start here. And right now they are continuing up front. Right now they are trying to seesaw it back and forth whether or not they're going to be able to come up with any sort of positive movement here. A lot of guys have been falling back. Dalton Tucker sitting currently in 13th. Front nose damage from the last caution that we saw back on lap 229. So not only Dalton Tucker, Al Likens was involved, Matthew George was involved, Cody Height was involved. Height has returned back to the track.
Yes. It's a handful of laps down, but it took him 2.5 minutes to deal with being on his lid. That's not bad.
Check out Reeder looking at the inside here, the 84. Blade Timmons about to lose that 5th place. And breaking into the top 5 is going to be Cody Reeder. Oh, Picklesheimer.
Not anymore. Oh, man. .245. Picklesheimer gets into the back. Timmons just as he's
Wow.
Reeder.
Yep. Tough break here for Cody Reeder. We saw that happen as they went through the turn. This is going to give everybody the opportunity to hit and level that playing field again. Take a look. Picklesheimer sending it in. Boom.
Yeah. Now, is that just a loss of concentration? Looking somewhere else or whatnot?
Yeah.
When the guy... Or just reflexes? I mean...
From the way that turn looks, it looks like Picklesheimer was trying to follow in Cody Reeder in the turn. Reeder was in the process of pivoting. Once he got into that turn, then he didn't really want to kind of play here. Watch. We'll take another look at it. Watch how the 19 heads into the turn. And when 19 heads into the turn, right there, he steps on the brake hard to see if he can pivot and stay to the inside instead of following the 84 out. And Picklesheimer thinks he's going to keep rolling that turn, and the 19 checks and decides to turn, to pivot to the inside. And Cody Reeder unfortunately pays the price for Dylan Picklesheimer sending it on in.
And to the tune of 18 seconds so far. Dylan Banks out there in the chat says hello to you.
Yep. Hey, guys. How is it going out there? Dylan Banks. We'll take a look at the number 48 machine there, Jake Christenberry. Looks like the 48 machine still has some luck out there with the 5th place is where he is currently sitting after everybody comes down pit. Stella, a lot of guys have come down pit an astronomical amount of times, with about 7 times for Conover. But Nick Pressey and Cody Reeder have visited their pit box 11 times.
Impressive.
Yeah, only Dalton Tucker and Cody Smith miss it by only 1 stop. They've been down 10 times. Conover going to get the start here at the line. Dylan Banks' favorite
Vincent
teammate
Arthur.
out there.
Yeah. You know Vincent Arthur isn't going to let him... Oh, here we go again.
Yep, the stack up again.
isn't going to let him rest out there on his laurels.
Nope. All right, we're taking a look off the back end here of Josh Conover. Gonna see if he can stay out front of Vincent Arthur. Good turn there by Conover. So remember, we asked Blake Hoffby if he'd get back on the lead lap. Currently sitting in 7th. Oh, Hoppy! No! That shouldn't be a caution, though.
It is.
No, come on. He saves it. What happened? He saved the car.
I didn't see any other activity.
What? Let's see if we can take another look at this. I want to know why his car was launched off that turn. I'm wondering if his brakes do something. If this is a brake issue. If he's too hard on the brakes and one of these brakes lock up and cause him to spin. I thought I saw something with the right rear. Yeah, he's already spinning here.
Yes.
Boy, hard pivot there. He wants to show his skills once again, drifting toward the barrels. Stella. Pit road. 240, lap 247, guys. Now we got a few more. Changed it up again. Dalton Tucker coming down on 253, getting some damage fixed. And Cody Smith coming down again. He's got the yellow flag straight up in the air. Looks like returning back to the fight is going to be Cody Reeder. He was currently out of the car there for a moment. Now it looks like he is going to return.
Back into the pit box for his 13th visit. He now holds the record individually.
Dylan out there rooting on flatline. Right here in this league, it would be Hendrick Motorsports. Currently leading the charge here. Lap 257. Let's go ahead and get her underway. Josh Conover and Vincent Arthur 1 and 2. Brady Moats is 3rd. Nick Pressey 4th. And tumbling around there in 5th is Jake Christopher. Jacob Gladwin 6th. Al Likert 7th. Matthew George 8th. Blake Hoppy fights himself back up in the 9th. He's duking it out there with Dalton Tucker. Cody Smith 11th. And Dylan Picklesheimer is in 12th. Those are all our drivers on the lead lap here tonight. 20 drivers have started, 12 still remain on the lead lap. And Stella, if I'm not mistaken, Mobile, I still have 15 drivers.
Sounds about right.
Now, the team that has had their heart broken here tonight is Ray Abraham Motorsports gang. These guys have lost. Unfortunately, our pole sitter of the night on Brian Jones, losing it there at 223. Cody Reeder currently sitting in pit for an extended amount of time here on lap 250. And currently still out there on the track, trying to put a fight up, is Dustin Klebu, led a bunch of laps here. He as well is down about 5 laps. And he's currently sitting in 14th.
Was not not take long here.
Nope, less than 40 laps left to go here at the Advanced Auto Parts 300. Appreciate anybody who's joining in just now. I say you are already waiting for the good part here at the end. I'm hoping this does not end under caution. Gotta be a pretty silly something for that to happen. I'm hoping this is going to go green all the way to the end. And I think Conover's thinking the exact same thing. Conover,
Yeah,
kind
just
of.
as a
But
just as a note, as of round 7 at Texas last week, it is the first time that there has been a change in the manufacturer standings. Dodge is now actually in the lead by 3 points or so over Chevy. And in third comes Ford. All this time, all these races, it's always been Chevy first, then Dodge, then Ford. It's just the first time I've seen the changeover.
I think, if I'm not mistaken now, Stella, it's going to be the exact same thing. We have all Chevys here in the top 5.
Ah. Take it back.
Yep. Wow. This dude just does not quit. Look at this.
I give it to his pit crew, I'll tell you, keeping that car out there.
Just enough to keep it off the keep the fender off. Number 2 still charging forward. 10th place now. Blake hopping at 9th. That's why you just keep racing. Alrighty. Starting to heat up now. Josh Conover and Vincent Arthur here. This is the battle for the lead. And now these two are going at it here. Taking a little look between each other. Here's their distance. Currently Vincent Arthur gaining 12 on the night. Conover's up 7. Neither one of these guys started in the top 5 and are currently battling for the number 1 position.
Not bad. So tell me how it differs when you're riding on the asphalt at 1 speed. You come into that turn on the concrete. How does it suddenly become faster, slower? Does it slicker?
They say that the concrete gives more grip.
More grip?
Yes.
Really?
And it is a lot more slick. Straight race. That's why
Darn.
you see some of these guys come out and then loop it.
I thought they were looping it because they were coming out really hot because they had a banking and then onto a flat, which would make them, kind of like oversteer. Okay. I would never think that concrete would be grippier than asphalt, just looking at like your patio versus your driveway. Is it something different on these tracks than regular asphalt and concrete?
Most of the concrete is grooved.
Oh, well that changes everything up. Anybody here who's driven in California on the highways, and especially on a motorcycle, and you encounter those curves where they've grooved the expressway, yeah, that's a whole new angle for grip, I must admit.
All right, Stella, so what do you think? Do you think Vincent Arthur's setting Josh Conover up here?
100%. Maybe even 150. I'm actually taking odds as to whether he'll spinning before the end.
Oh, he's already gotten into him once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was back on lap 189. And Vincent Arthur, there he goes. It's a fender in there. Right now, Conover is watching that left mirror, fights him off. Good Lord.
It's going to be a long 24 laps for these two.
Yeah, I'll say.
Especially Josh. Total defensive.
Oh,
Yep.
and he dumps him. Got him.
There it is. See? Somebody should have taken those odds. Dang. And we're under caution.
Wow.
Lap 278.
Mm. Kind of a rough
Yeah,
caution
kind of a harsh
here.
way to go.
Yeah.
Just personally, I would have rather seen them race it to the end.
Yeah, I think I had the best view of the house. Getting around that turn for Conover. So, Josh Conover will be restarting in 9th. We'll see how that's going to hold up for him. Caution is still underway. Less than 20 laps left to go.
I was going to ask you, what would we come back at? Like 19? Yeah. That's a long way to make up.
EOL here.
Oh. Okay. So he won't have an advantage for the maneuver.
Oh, but talk about having to fight all the way back up to the front is going to be pretty wild.
Yes. Could be a blazing finish.
Well, we can only hope here. Cleveland, Cody Hyde, our drivers, will be lining up on the inside line. Lead spot. Oh, Hoppy. Oh, Hoppy, hang in there.
Or hang out there, whichever you prefer.
Not a whole lot of give and take here.
No.
Mode's getting away. Presley sitting second. Jake Christenberry holding on to third. Now Christenberry would love to come up in the booth and have a chat with us. I think he's going to get Dylan Picklesheimer here.
Oh. Gosh. That took us several people out there.
At least three. Al Likens, Dylan Picklesheimer, and Jake Christenberry.
Hmm.
way too hot on that turn. Rough night here, guys. We're up to
I am actually
17.
Yeah, I am actually pretty surprised that we haven't had some people with drive-throughs required or DQs by this point. There has been a lot of cause cautions.
Thanks for saying that's just Martinsville here. Yeah, it's going to get messy no matter what. Alright, finally, I think the pace car is finally going to go ahead and get off the track. Josh Conover's broken back into the top 5.
He's put so much mileage on that truck tonight, he's going to need an oil change.
I'm ready to get this guy with this guy. See this get back underway.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll hopefully we can race this green out to the end here. As Brady Moats is going to take us to the restart. Nick Pressey second, and looks like we don't accordion down the back. So that's good, but yes, we do.
A lot of luck. Conover's happy. Oh, Lord. 289. Yeah, I do believe, like you say, Conover not having come down to get fuel. Yeah, he can glide through this.
Yeah, everybody's stopping back on lap 279, so they'll have enough fuel to make it to the end here.
Yeah. But these two have actually worked themselves all the way up to 3rd and 4th. Josh Conover and Vincent Arthur. Even from that EOL. Impressive.
I'm wondering if this is the 20's fault.
Here we go.
Yep.
Alrighty, Mr. Gladelick. So again, we've got some customers down pit road. Cody Smith, Matthew George. Getting maybe little repairs, maybe a little fuel and tires. And I do think we have a couple others who have decided to take it to the garage. Blade Timmons, Cody Reeder, possibly. Yes.
For our down and out guys?
Correct. You can always tell because you can see their pit boxes have even gone home.
All right.
Are we ready?
I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Let's get this one back underway. The Advanced Auto Parts 300 kicking back off again. Lap 294 is what we're going to start. 6 laps left to go. This should be a shootout. Watch for Conover to make a move. Conover sitting third. Benson Arthur is fourth. Now see if they can do any shuffling around out there with Hendrick Motorsports. And right now, Matthew George is getting tangled up again out here. Eckelsheimer is in front of him. Right now, Dylan is underneath of Jake Christenberry in the 48. I know right now Vincent Arthur would like a podium position. He's only sitting one spot outside of that. Conover starting to reel in Pressey. Pressey in the net zero car sees an opening, and Conover's going to attack.
Rick
Pressey
says,
blocks.
not in time.
Yep, Pressey blocks. Vincent Arthur triangulates the turn. Give
4
him a
laps to
decent
go.
run. Yep, 3 to go. Brady Mote's in a great spot right now as he's able to hide. Conover having trouble getting past Pressey here. This is for the second spot. Yeah, wait for Conover to give him a bump here. He's getting nervous. 2 to go. As Conover slams that balance off the ground. Now he's taking a look to the inside. Pressey in trouble. Here it comes. Conover taking a look. Vincent Arthur to the outside. Arthur tries to hold on. White flag. Last chance. Pressey holding on. Great job here so far as he stays out in front. Let's take a look. Final turn, Conover looking at it, and that's going to do it. No can do. Brady Mote's coming to the line. Awesome job.
Whoa. What was that kind of a last-ditch effort to see if he could pass at the line for
Yep.
Vincent Arthur? Okay.
He sidestepped it, let it eat.
Okay.
Whoa. Well, as Vincent Arthur, he, how we've been saying, feathered the gas, he just held it down.
Okay.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
And Conover.
All right, here are your finishers here for the night. Great race here so far, guys. Join up with the National Oval Racing Association. There is still time. You'll have your opportunity to get out here onto the track. Martinsville's been a great race. Brady Mote's coming away with his win here of the season. He's been looking and waiting for this one. Not bad. All right. Fantastic. Hang in there, guys. We'll get him here in just a second. Alrighty, everybody, catching up with a third place finisher, and he was able to come away even after after spinning out actually back on lap 278. What a troublesome race this was, Josh. Talk to me. How do you fight your way back up to third?
I think it just showed the pace we had. Funny enough, Brady and I have struggled long run in these cars, and somehow, some way tonight we had long run pace. Kind of just, we're trying to be patient and work back through the field, and ended up, I think, first and third, and then it went downhill real quick.
How in the world do you find a gap out there in this track to pass? I mean, it almost seems you've got to stick a fender in and let somebody know you're there. So your spotter apparently needs to make sure you paid him this week.
You do. I feel like as of late, that's kind of any car here. We obviously run next gens, we run trucks, and even Xfinity here. It almost seems it's the same story no matter what you run. Like I said, Brady and I were quicker long run, but you kind of could get to the guy, but that was it. Like if they didn't make a mistake, you really weren't getting a good enough exit. We almost needed to stay green and keep the track warm. So I think that one longer run we had, I think where Dalton and Dylan pitted, we were up to like 107 track temp, I think. And that's when it kind of felt like you could move around, not really move around, but able to get better runs on the exit of the corner. But yeah, I don't know. I love this place, and this one kind of stings.
Yeah, well, there was some questionable moves made out there, and of course that's going to transfer on to next week when we head to Talladega. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs here and tell me how you feel about getting out of this short track and onto a super speedway.
Well, like I said, I love Martinsville. I think it kind of showed in the pace. I know Dustin and Cody make fun of me on their podcast, but I haven't had, winning pace all year, and I would argue tonight, we could have had it, and his cars didn't fall my way. Glad Brady got, I think it was his second career win, so hats off to him. Next week, kind of some of the same. You'll probably see a Daytona V2, probably one of the bigger fields, I would assume, just because of plate track, and you probably see some alliances formed and some enemies made, and hopefully we can see maybe that, I guess, fourth or fifth groove up by the fence come into play, and hopefully less cautions. I knew tonight would be tough just because it's the paperclip, but I think some guys forget we got all the horsepower and not a lot of downforce in these things, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Can't really complain with third, but I guess in my case tonight I can. So we'll go load up and head to Dega, I guess.
All right, Josh. Good luck to you, buddy, and we'll see. Like you said, we'll see you at a plate track, man. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, real quick, I think I forgot. Hats off to you guys too for the broadcast. I always go back and watch, and I know we kind of talked before the quote-unquote camera was on Pat, but yeah, I think we kind of feel similar about that situation. So we'll. Like I said, we'll load up and I guess try and get one in Dega, hopefully, and we'll see what happens.
All right, well, we'll see if any controversy happens inside the team, man. Hang in there, Josh. We'll see you at Dega, buddy.
Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, Stella. Yeah, buddy. Sometimes I hope I am not the destroyer of leagues. We'll find somebody who thinks about it. Right now, Nick Presley out there in the zero. Dude, you were a pinball out there tonight, but you came away with a second-place finish. How in the world did this happen?
I don't know. The start of the race, I was getting passed around like Dennis Schroeder. But I honestly, I'm really lucky that for the way the rest of the race turned out after that. Spent half the race just trying to fix the damage, and by the time that was done, we got some more, and another two cautions. Almost had it thrown away for good on that near spin. I was just looking to finish this race without the 17X, because I know that at Bristol I was pretty badly inconvenienced by the racing, and ended up getting bounced around and got that penalty, and I was over it. But I was really lucky to not get that last X today for the drive through. As for the end of the race, it's just I didn't want to destroy myself, and every time the one went up, I just wasn't there to capitalize it and decided not to make myself be there.
Well, it was a tough race, though. I would say, when we get your shout-outs here, you were involved in both the first two cautions of the race and heavily damaged when Kevin Ballmer sidestepped it. You got down to the bottom close to the concrete and got nailed. And then on lap 6 when Dylan Picklesheimer and I believe Jake Christenberry got into it. Yeah, Jacob Gladelick back on lap 9. He had to double stack it there. But the two of those guys, you did the same thing, down to the bottom concrete, and then got hammered again. And just, boy, how do you look at, in less than 10 laps, getting involved in two wrecks out there? And is this something that you think transfers over to the plate track at Dega next week?
I don't know, because, admittedly, those first two cautions were disheartening. What I do know is this, though: if you get into a wreck at Dega, that's probably your only one there, barring some miracle. So, from what I saw it so far, I had the fastest time in qualifying. I'll have to hope that that's how it stays at the end of the session. And if that's how it is, and if I can make myself have a good run like I did at Daytona until the end and finish it, I say that the momentum keeps rolling.
Boy, all right, easier said than done. All right, go and give me your shout-outs here from the Ward Burton Chevrolet.
Right, I'd like to thank people at NORA for putting on this race. It's a lot of fun here to run these Gen 4 cars. I'd like to thank you two for putting on such a wonderful broadcast tonight. Forgive me, I'm just a little tired. It's all week, My birthday was actually on Thursday. My birthday's on Thursday. I'm still not recovering for that.
Oh. Well, that's better than just the grind at work,
Right. I guess I'd like to thank Josh for No Puntanero Jimmer. Josh being patient with me really saved my butt in this race at the end there. I'd like to thank Drip Diecast and Collectibles for also being able to power my ability to be on iRacing this year. So, it's a lot. I'm very grateful to them. Thank you very much.
Awesome, Dick Pressey. Congratulations on your second place finish, buddy. And let's see if we can keep 4 tires on the ground this time around at Dega. Good luck, bud.
Right.
All right,
That's
Nick
a
Pressey.
good idea.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the 15 car, the only car to end up upside down, actually finished 13th tonight. Which is the most insane thing I've seen in a long time. 15 car on its lid, and a whole bunch of things happened tonight, but at least we got to see a driver who trusted the process out there, was able to come away with a win here, his second one here with the NORA Racing League. Brady Moats, it worked.
Pat, how about the process, dude? I'll tell you what, finally. Finally, man, finally. I just told Josh, we just got through talking about it. It's been 4 years, man. It's been a long, long 4 years. I've been racing with the best this league has for a while. And I know it was, for lack of better terms, a crapshoot, honestly, there at the end. I mean, and a lot of the contenders got taken out. I probably easily had top 6, top 5 car. I mean, and I would have been pleased. I mean, this is not... I ain't gonna lie to you. I really didn't think I was gonna be talking to y'all on the podium finish until like Sonoma. I was like, yep, Sonoma I could probably pencil myself in, maybe top 3, but man, to win this, I mean, it's huge. And to get it, I mean, obviously it wasn't the fastest car tonight. I mean, Dalton had the fastest car. God bless him, he sped like 4 or 5 times. Josh, Vincent, and Blade, I don't know what happened out there leading, and I mean, there's just a lot of craziness going on up there, but. And then, well, I mean, we just kept it clean, and then it literally was cross the start-finish line with 0 X's. So I mean, can't complain, cannot complain. The process finally worked.
What? You didn't get a single incident point tonight?
No, sir, I did not. And then the only 4X I got was going to the 3, and Cody kind of tapped me a little bit too hard, and that was after the checkered. when they were all bumping up against me and everything, but congratulating me.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the only 4X I got. But yeah, I had 0Xs all the way through the whole race from green to checkered.
All right. Well, it looks like you had a force field around him of hope and luck out there. Holy crap. I was gonna say, now we've seen a lot of wrecks that were happening all over the track, man. So you were able to avoid them. A lot of guys cannot avoid the big one at Talladega next week. Where do you place yourself? Where is a safe spot at Dega?
Pat, I mean, for me, I mean, you can, if you have the time, go ahead and go click on SimRacer Hub and go look at my average finish over all of NORA at Speedway tracks. I am like, it's got to be like 28th. I mean, I'm terrible there. I'm never in the right spot. So I don't know. Just open luck could be on my side and go through there. And I know the process doesn't work there, but but I mean, I don't know. We'll man, I don't know. I kind of want to be out front, but I really don't. I just kind of want to just be wherever my friends are and roll with them the whole race and hope it works out. I mean, usually it gets to about 30, 20, 10 to go, and it all unravels, you know. But I mean, hopefully we can have some good luck like we did tonight, you know, tomorrow or next Monday. That'd be awesome. But I don't know. We'll go in there, low expectations, and if we get high ones, or get a good finish, we'll be well pleased.
All right. Well, this definitely has got to feel pretty good. Stella, I'm fairly certain Dustin Kaliba ended up coming away with a much-needed win, and now Brady Moats are coming away with a much-needed win. This has got to feel really good seeing early into the season. I believe you said we are somewhere around that 30 races left to go here in this season, and guys are starting to take that deep sigh and that breath, but it's normally crunch time after the All-Star race that things start getting wild and crazy out there. Brady Moats, awesome job here, buddy. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs here from the Monte Carlo.
Man, just shout out Josh, Dalton, Vinny, Dustin. I mean, a lot of these guys in here helped me become a lot faster and be able to have back half top 10 speed, you know, and to be able to win this tonight, I mean, I credit them. I mean, I know I kind of backed into it, but shout out to them. All those guys for always helping me try to get faster. Shout out my wife. Let me do this Monday and sometimes Tuesdays. I appreciate that. Appreciate her letting me doing that. And then shout out to you guys. Always an awesome broadcast to get back and look on. We haven't had a group like this that's this good in a while. So I appreciate y'all for what y'all do. Y'all do a great job up in the booth. Yeah, I mean, shout out to all the DEI guys. I mean, hopefully, I think Josh already got a win. I got a win, so now we just need to get Cody in victory lane.
All right, man. Trust me, you want to shout out the process, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the process worked. It kept us out of trouble, so hopefully it'll work for us next week.
Brady Moats, congratulations, buddy. Awesome job, man. And I'll see you at Talladega.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Stella. Appreciate y'all.
Yep.
You bet.
All right, awesome job. Brady Moats coming away with a win. Awesome. I've always wanted to do it, and I promised him that I would definitely discuss the process out there. I raced with him as a fun race out there, and it was a super speedway race. And it was about trusting the process of just continuing to push till you can't push anymore, and then just try to come away with a win. And that is exactly what he's going to try to do next week. Boy, oh boy, Stella, what a race this was. I've said it multiple times. Talladega's next week after a messy Martinsville. I'm wondering if guys are going to know what speed and driving long runs going to be like.
Well, that track is 3 times the length of this one and a whole lot faster. So I'd like to see them get 2, 3 wide, and I'll be a happy camper.
Yep. NSR raced fantastic over there on Saturday night. Guys, like I said, if you were looking to see a kind of a preliminary of what you're going to see here at NORA, double the numbers, and we're going to have a blast out there next Monday. I'm telling you, I got this one circled out there on the calendar. So that is going to be it for us here tonight at SimTraX Broadcasting, bringing you the race here at Martinsville. Stella, we did not break our record for the amount of cautions here tonight, but man, a lot of our fast guys taken out, a lot of race teams losing, and a lot of fast drivers. It was tough. So that's going to do it. The NORA Racing League Gen 4 Cup Series, SimTraX Broadcasting signing off. Be well, be safe, be kind. See all you guys next time.